G'day humans, Chris Stead here. I'm on the road. Today I'm in Vin Wonders in Phu Quoc, and I'm going to do a specific review here of the water park at Vin Wonders, which is the worst water park I've ever been to. Yeah, I'll say it. Now, this review is for people who are thinking about whether they want to choose Vin Wonders or Aquattopia in Phu Quoc as their water park of choice, because water park is what they primarily want. Because I'm here to tell you, Aquattopia on it from a great height. If you're here because you're staying at one of the Vin Pearl resorts and it's included, and this is going to be your pool basically for your resort, then whatever. And if you're here because you want to go to the Vin Wonders theme park, this is one of 5 worlds in Vin Wonders. Then in the grander scheme of things, the adventure zone and that's awesome. The Viking zone's great. The aquarium's amazing. There's other things here awesome. But if the aqua park is what you're primarily coming here for, that's the review I'm going to do for you. And look, it starts with actually getting here, because if you catch the free shuttle bus, it's supposed to take you to Vin Wonders. It doesn't. It drops you off in the Grand World, which is somewhere else. And as soon as you get off the bus, you're hassled by a whole bunch of people trying to charge you to take you to Vin Wonders. There is actually another free shuttle you can get on that takes you to Vin Wonders, but it goes by the safari, so it takes like 15 or 20 minutes. It's just a complete clusterfuck of a system they got set up. Anyway, I'm going to take you through. Where to start? Okay, well, let's start with a couple of good things. Right, so if you've got really young kids, I think it's pretty good. There's a wave pool here. It's not a very good wave pool. The waves are very lackluster, but there is a wave pool, and the younger kids in particular, always like that. And over here, they've got this rad water park, which is for people under 120 centimetres. So that's a really good spot for young kids. And there's good rides over here. My kids tried to go on it and they were like, no, you're too big, we're not going to let you. So it was enticing even to them. I think actually this is going to push the limits of a lot of kids under 120 centimetres, but then again, I guess Vietnamese children aren't as tall as Australian children, so maybe they're older. But yeah, so really good little spot over there for the kids. After that, things get pretty dire. Now over here, actually no, there's one other good thing about Vin Wonders, I will say. The food prices are really, really reasonable. Like you're looking at less than $2 for a Sprite, less than $3 for an ice cream. I bought a pork bun over there for $1.50 or something. It was pretty reasonable. Now there's lockers over here, but you're only allowed to use them once. And they charge you $100,000 for the big one, $50,000 for a small one. The small one doesn't fit nothing. And so once you've decided you need to get something out of your locker, you have to pay another $100,000 to reclose it, which is just, considering the food such good value, it's just like, what the hell? It's just such a lame thing. And this is the other extremely lame thing, and I'm really angry about this. There's nowhere to sit down here at all, right? And if you want to sit, you have to pay another $100,000 for a seat, and you only get that seat for 2 hours. And if you try and sit on anything else, they're onto you straight away. It's like flies on shit. No, you gotta pay. We'll not let you sit down. Which is just a joke. It's costing us hundreds of dollars to be here. So there's no way we could just kind of put a towel down, sit back and just relax and get off our feet for a little bit without having to pay more money. Then on top of that, when we were there getting upset with the guy, going, what do you have to pay for a seat? The guy next to us, he was like, oh, I'm about to leave and I've still got an hour left on my seat, take mine. And all we really wanted was one seat, because we couldn't get our stuff back in the locker, and we just wanted to put the bag down on the seat with a towel, just so it was kind of like, that's what you do, right? Anyway, as soon as we did it, the guy came over and says, like, no, you have to pay as well. And the guy who was giving it to us, he goes, no, it's a gift from me, I've already paid, they can have it. And he was having none of it, and there was a big bit of an argument there. He ended up giving us the chair, but it's just like, what's the motive here? All right, now you got a couple of rides over here. This is the other thing. Half the rides are broken. I don't know if you can see as well. Most of this is cracked. There's paint peeling through the bottom of the pool. There's a big lazy river as well. This has got paint peeling all through it, and it's just in a real state of disrepair. Almost on every single platform you can see with rides, at least one doesn't work. So the orange one works, but the blue one doesn't work. And the orange, it's really lame anyway. It's not even worth going up there. I think it's that one anyway. Maybe they're the same ride. Is it that one? No, that's actually only got one ride on that one. It's the other one that's over here. But it's such a lame ride anyway. It's just so slow and laborious. Most of the rides just don't go high enough. And the staff at the top, like lovely people, like really friendly people, but they are just like, they go through every single rule every single time, even if they've seen you 6 times, multiple times. Most of the rides that have rafts and things weren't built for them, so they so they get stuck, and the staff have got to basically lift you into it because you can't get down it. Most of the raft rides I went on, like the raft would get stuck in spots and they go really slow, and it's just not cool. I'm not even going to bother walking down there. Sorry, I'm just so disappointed by this place. All the places that they've put things, so like, for example, this is the entrance to probably one of the better rides, which is the Python. It's this thing down here, which swirls around a few times, then drops and goes up that wall there and comes back down. But it's so slow coming out, and they weigh every single person every single time for every single ride, no matter what you look like. And then they forget and weigh you again, and then they take you through the rules, and they take the next person through the rules, and sometimes if they feel like it, they'll just stop the ride for 10 minutes and then weigh everybody who's in the queue, and then tell everybody in the queue the rides, and then start the ride again. It's like ludicrous. But this ride requires a raft. Where do you think the raft is? Here? Nope. It's all the way down there somewhere. This one up here, you need a raft for that. Where do you think the raft is? It's over this tiny little bridge. You can see these people now struggling over it. All right, so you got to walk all the way over here, find a raft. It's just all the places like that are just built. Like, I don't understand why they're built like that. Like, the raft should be here. That's where the raft should be. You know. This octopus thing they got going down here, the 4 rides. If you come here, do not go on it. It really hurts. It's really badly designed. This orange thing is a bit of a thrill. It's pretty good fun. It's one of the better ones. But the hike to the top is mammoth. So it's probably one and done. But it's worth it. Now here's the other thing, right? I've never come across a place, a water park, with so many weight limits and that, right? So you pretty much, for most of the rides, you have to be between 60 kilograms and 100 kilograms. So my kids who have done these exact rides at other water parks couldn't do more than half of them because they weigh under 50. Well, they all weigh under 50. And I'm a 99.8 apparently. Yes, the buffets have hit me. But I only just made it onto these. And you know, like, I'm a big fella, but you know, there's a lot of blokes who are over my weight. This is one of the better ones.
Hello.
Yeah, so my kids within an hour didn't want to be here anymore because they were like, we can't go on more than half the rides, and we've been on them so many times before and we don't understand why, and they were really frustrated and really angry. This is the end of that yellow one. Like I said, every second ride doesn't work. So they've got one side working, but the other one doesn't work. In this one up here, I think the orange one works, but the blue one doesn't. The yellow one doesn't, but the green one does. Yeah, so they just, you know, there's a lot of people that aren't going to be able to ride any of these rides. Now these same rides are at Aquattopia, and they didn't care. I mean, this one obviously goes up, so you need to be a certain weight. But the drops, the ones that just go straight down, they wouldn't let my kids do any of those. And as you can see, they're really short. Like, all these rides, they're not high. They don't go very high. So a lot of them are just boring as batshit because they're just literally 1 or 2 turns and then you're at the bottom. And this one here was the one where the guy spent so long weighing everybody, even though there was like, he wasn't sending people down and weighing, sending people weighing, because it takes them ages to get down. They go around this in 4 or 5 laps around here. It's plenty of time to weigh the next person. But no, he wanted us all to wait and get weighed at once, even though I didn't know who any of them were. Yeah, it's just bizarre. And it's so disappointing because The adventure park, which is over where you can see that Ferris wheel there, and there's a roller coaster you might be able to see through there, is epic. Really good. But the water park is just an absolute flop. And I think unless you're in a very narrow age range, either a tiny little kid who wants to go in that first place I showed you, or somewhere between 60 and 100, and never been to a water park before, it's not really worth your time. Over here, you've got this one, which is closed, and this one, which is open. You've got these massive queue lines here. The only other benefit is there's not many people here. But even though there's not many people here, because the guys at the top take so long to go through every single thing every single time, it just takes forever anyway. Now there's two rides over there, one of which of course does not work, and the other one that does work. And you can see a bit of it there. That's actually one of the better ones, one of our favourite ones. But the entrance is here. You know? It's almost like it was never meant to be here, and they've just done it last minute and didn't think anything through. You know, like, and then the things are over there. So you gotta go over there, get that, then go all the way down here, then pull onto that thing. It just doesn't make much sense. So yeah, and that's the other problem. You know, like you could cop all of it if the rides are actually exhilarating, but you know, there's only about 3 of them that I did, and I did most of them, which I would say were kind of fun. Most of them are just too short and too slow to really be, you know, worth it anyway. So yeah, like I said, if you're coming to VinWonders because you're doing a whole package and your thought is, well, in the heat of the day we'll nick over and do the Aquapark, you know, for a couple of hours, the water park for a couple of hours, then, you know, probably not a big issue, unless you got kids that are kind of like big enough to do fun rides but don't weigh over 60 kilos. They're just going to get really upset really quickly, as mine did. Or unless you've never done a water park before and you've got nothing to base it, you know, compare it against, I guess. Here's a river. So as you can see, like the bottom of it's a mess. I wouldn't want to be running bare feet over that too much. But if you're thinking, oh, I really want to go to a water park, let's go to VinWonders and we'll do the water park and then we might go on a roller coaster or something at the end, don't, because Aquattopia is so much better. Like every ride at Aquattopia is awesome. Even with a few closed, it was still well better than this and cheaper. So here's another last couple of rides to show you. This blue one, that one didn't work. And the green one, no, sorry, the blue one was working and the green one wasn't. And then when I came back later, they had flipped them around. So the blue one wasn't working and the green one wasn't. It was almost like, with a multicolored one there. So it's almost like they don't have enough water or something to run two at once, or staff, I don't know. But the reality is it's such a low platform that you're doing, you get in, you go once and you're out. And it's just, there's just not much of it you know, it's not too thrilling. Oh, Fountain Fest. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the water park at VinWonders in Phu Quoc. There's more VinWonders around. I mean, I still want to go see them. I think that as a package, an overall package here, VinWonders is excellent. We've had a great day. But the water park is a real letdown. And if my kids, who were so excited about the water park, just wanted to get out of here within less than an hour, I reckon 40 minutes, I was just like, this place is no good. That's a fair review. A fair review. And so they're already gone. I'm just hanging around to do this review. Anyway, I'm Chris Stead. Those are my thoughts. That's for me. I'm back on the road. Yeah.